Schön, dass Sie wieder mit dabei sind bei einer weiteren Folge von TJ's Technology Tuesday. In dieser Episode einmal einen Vortragsausschnitt einer Keynote, die ich vor kurzem gehalten habe, zum Thema künstliche Intelligenz. Ich wünsche Ihnen viel Spaß dabei.
And when you look into studies, for example, in the past, people used Google for search results and didn't get very good search results. So what are they doing now? They're using ChatGPT. This is like drilling a screw into the wall with a hammer. It was not built for that. ChatGPT was built to summarize texts, to create texts, to compare texts. So for example, when you have a lot of text documents in your audits, it's a great tool to say, okay, you can throw, for example, different versions of documents, you can contracts in that, and you can say, extract me the main pieces of information. That's great. It's not built for calculating, for example. So when you're asking ChatGPT what's 1 + 1, it doesn't calculate. It says, okay, what's the highest probability that of that result? So looking to search systems, for example, so there's a different system, Perplexity. It is called the answer machine. Because here you get a question and you get a very structured result. So when you're looking into industry comparisons, for example. And nowadays, of course, last week I had a friend who said, I did a great text with Perplexity. Yes, it can do it also. It is like taking a screwdriver and hitting a nail to put it into the wall. That also works the other way around, but it's not the best system. So it's a question to say, which tool do you need? And even when I looked into the workshop of yesterday from Strategy Bridge AI, they say, don't let the AI do the calculations. But when you look into, it takes a village to analyze a company. I like that quote and took a photo when I was sitting in the workshop here. And to say, okay, one thing is the data, to calculate it, to have that in a structured way. Don't let it do the calculations. But then to go a step further, to compare it with other industries, to compare it with stages of the industry, to have SWOT. This is a very smart idea. At that stage, I would be very interested in your focus in terms of AI. Because AI, what is AI for me? Everybody says, okay, artificial intelligence. No, I say AI is augmented intelligence. It's another tool. And I would be very interested, I'm opening up Slido again. I would like to see some ideas. How are you already using AI? So please take out your smartphone and let's share some of your ideas how you are already using AI. Let's have a look. So everybody says prompting is the bottleneck. I say no. Prompting is not the bottleneck. Because when you look, for example, into ChatGPT 5, it already optimizes your prompt. And you can use AI number 1 to optimize your prompts for AI number 2. No problem. The bottleneck is leading the system. Because when I look into AI, augmented intelligence, it's like a new intelligent colleague. So, and when you hire somebody, what do you have to do? You have to brief him or her. You have to skill him or her. You have to train. You have to get feedback. And I always see that people are just giving a bad command into the wrong AI system and wondering why they're not getting the right system. And then they say, this is crap. I always said, okay, how was your prompt? Which system did you use? Did you enter custom instructions, which you can do in every system? Did you give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to your result? Did you give a feedback in terms of this was wrong, that was right? So I assume all of you or a lot of you also see a shortage of labor. So and if you don't see it today, you will see it in most European countries, at least within the next 10 years. And for me, it's basically 3 strategies to overcome that. Number 1 is don't lose people. So because people join companies and they leave bad bosses. It's not only about numbers, it's about leadership. Number 2, recruit smarter. And number 3, the topic of today, automate. The next myth is automation first. Say, no, it's not about automation first. When you look into, for example, the typical thing where we are now completely digital. We used to do our meeting agenda and protocols and everything like that. The meeting minutes, we did that with manual notebooks. Even in analog times, that was a stupid idea to do that in a notebook. It doesn't get better when you do that in a digital notebook. This is digitization. Digitization is meaning we do exactly the same crap like the robot. We build it as a humanized robot with the same limitations. Digitalization is what you saw with Tesla, with the other robots, to say we are using more possibilities which we have with technology. Number 3 is digital transformation. This is what I told you about the digital models from the agency owners, where probably some of you might think about how could I adapt to that. And when I look into that quote from 1994 from the former CEO of Telefonica, Thorsten Jekel, he at that time said, if you digitize a shitty process, you end up with a shitty digital process. And this is more true than ever in times of AI. So looking into how do you automate? Is that the first step? No. First step is always to say eliminate. Which process can we eliminate? And for example, in Coca-Cola, they introduced iPads. Did they introduce them on top of the notebook computers? No. They pulled all the notebook computers out of the system. And this is also a recommendation I say. Please don't always add systems. When you integrate a new system in your organization, always ask you which is the one or the two system which I can eliminate. And looking into then how can we optimize it? And number 3, how can we automate it? And is it automation or AI? No. These are brothers and sisters. It's automation and AI. And when you're looking into who's using Microsoft 365 here in the room. So I see a lot of hands. The majority of you is using Microsoft 365. And if you are not doing it yet, you probably might be ending up in it because actually they have the monopoly on that. So, and I see too few companies that are looking into Power Automate, for example. And in the workshop, I will show you some possibilities, and I'm very interested in those of you. Anybody who's already using Power Automate in his or her company? So I see some hands. So if some of you, and I see also the tech bros, so that's cool. By the way, applause for the tech crew. Yeah, they're doing a great job. So super, applause. So also when I see, okay, yeah, Copilot is giving me shitty results. Yeah. Have you looked into the latest research agent version? Have you configured a Copilot studio where you can exactly say which sources it shall do? And when you talk about compliance, have you already used Purview as the compliance engine where you can configure it? And if you don't have Microsoft 365, there are solutions in the market like this Spanish company, for example, working on European processing plans where you can pseudonymize data, where you can anonymize data, which you're using for artificial intelligence. So, and even when you're not using AI today, use it the time today to clean your data today and to use your existing tech. Because technology is not the future. Technology is there. Use it or lose it. Thank you very much.
Ja, ich hoffe, Sie konnten den einen oder anderen, vor allen Dingen Umsetzungsimpuls aus diesem Vortragsmitschnitt mitnehmen. Sollten Sie für Ihre nächste Veranstaltung einen informierenden, einen inspirierenden, einen bewegenden Redner suchen, der Ihre Mannschaft, der Ihre Vertriebspartner, Ihre Servicepartner begeistert, inspiriert und vor allen Dingen in die Umsetzung bringt, dann freue ich mich sehr, wenn Sie mich ansprechen. Dann spreche ich gerne auch als Keynote-Speaker, als Workshop-Verantwortlicher oder in anderen Formaten für und mit Ihren Kunden. Mit Ihren Kunden spreche ich natürlich dann auch nicht nur die eine Stunde, wo ich einen Vortrag halte, sondern ich bin bei den Veranstaltungen den ganzen Tag mit dabei, sodass Ihre Teilnehmer hinterher sagen, wow, das war aber ein toller Service. Genau das ist meine Idee, seit ich 1988 bei Nixdorf begonnen habe, das Thema Digitalisierung, Vertrieb und Produktivität zusammenzubekommen, aber das Ganze auch mit Spaß, mit Motivation, so dass neue Technik keine Angst erzeugt, sondern dass die Teilnehmenden Lust auf Digitalisierung, Lust auf KI haben. Ich freue mich sehr, wenn ich auch Ihre nächste Veranstaltung dementsprechend bereichern kann. Ihr Thorsten Jekel.